right, guys, welcome to the episode of Pick Money, the podcast. I got my buddy Jason Wojciechowicz here. How you doing, bud?
What's good, man? Thanks for having me.
Everything's good, man. How about you?
Good.
Good. You're on a couch. I'm in this thing. This is like a badass desk, and then we got the fire. So the aesthetics are great.
Mm-hmm.
Let me explain to you what we do here. So my goal, Jason, is pretty simple with the podcast. There's so many ways to make money. And then there's so many ways to chase money that will never make you any money.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's so many people that can help you make money, but then there's so many people that will help you chase something that doesn't make anybody money except for them. So we talk a lot here about picking money. That was the thing that came up for me. Like I've always, since I was a kid, like at 18, I was talking to this beautiful studio guy. I was like, how long have you been in real estate? He's like, oh, this period of time. I got it when I was 18 years of age. It was the first business I ever got into. So you're in a different business, different space I've ever been in, and it's intriguing to me. So for people that don't know you, because you're everywhere on social media, can you just kind of like let us know who you are, give us some background? I have some questions I can't wait to ask you.
Okay, sick. So yeah, my name is Jason Wojciechowicz. I've been an advertiser for 7 years. Simply put, I help coaches, consultants, service providers run paid traffic, scale their business, and achieve a 4x return on ad spend. That's on average that I've had. I run ads for a lot of like big names and brands that people know now. Guys like Andy Elliott, Brad Lee, Pace Morby, Justin Waller, just to name a few. And then we do a lot of like offers and, landing pages. We run events. Like we touch a lot of different niches, and we did a lot in local services, home services. The list goes on. The biggest thing I'll say is when people ask you what I do, like I really am a copywriter at heart, which helped me become better at advertising. And then, like over the last 7 years, I think we've spent like something like $30-something million on ads, done over $100 million. So it's really good ROAS. And until for like 4 or 5 straight years, we never made like the Inc. 5000 list, and we just made that this year. So that was really cool.
Congratulations.
And now we have an office here. So we're just trying to grow. Like it's something that was better for me once I started networking, getting in the right rooms. Like doing podcasts was a huge move for me last year because I was kind of like an introvert. Like I'm a marketer. So like we're kind of socially awkward, but at the same time, like I had to get out of the box.
Awkward,
yeah. I used to be though. I used to be like, look around a lot and just like be really awkward. But I had to get out of my own skin and just like meet the right people. And like, I love doing it now. So, I'm originally from New York, moved to Tampa about 6 years ago, stayed in Tampa and Orlando-ish area for about 4 to 5 years, then just moved here to Phoenix.
So you were born and raised in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Went to school in New York?
Yes.
College?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you go?
I went to Mount St. Mary. It's like upstate New York in
Newburgh.
Newburgh.
I know it is. I'm from Connecticut originally.
So
I know the
sick.
area
Okay.
really well. I was there
Awesome.
my first 48 years. So went to college. Your degree was in marketing, or was it in?
It was, I actually did 1 year in culinary school.
Okay.
Dropped out, realized I didn't know how to cook anything.
Yeah.
And then I went to business school for 3 years at Mount St. Mary, and that was just business and finance. It was like a combo degree.
Got it. Okay. Then what led you you left there, what was your first job out of college?
First job out of college? I didn't have a job out of college.
So you didn't have a job out of college.
I worked 3 jobs while I was in college, and I was playing college tennis.
Mm-hmm.
And I just saved money. And then I was building my agency on the side, and I was working with local businesses, barbershops, like brick and mortar, like $300 a month, $400 a month, like packages, like small scale social media management. And I saved a couple grand, and then I moved to Orlando.
Got it.
So I never really had like a job that was like a 9 to 5. I had 3 part-time jobs. So I would go to like one from like 7 to 11, one from 12 to 4, and then one from like 5. And then I did school online.
So who raised your mom and your dad?
Yeah, both,
Okay.
yeah.
What do they do?
My mom's a part-time teacher, and my dad was like a lab scientist at Pfizer.
Really?
Yeah.
Which was right, and I lived 15 minutes from Pfizer.
Pearl River.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so when you left college, you decided to run your own business. You were 21, 22, somewhere in that ballpark?
Around
age-wise?
19 and 20, yeah.
Okay. What did your mom and dad think? They fired up about you not
yeah.
getting a job? Were that fired up?
Yeah, my parents were worried. They were more on like the conservative side.
Your dad's a scientist. Mom's
Yeah.
teacher.
So my mom didn't like it. My mom was like, "Oh, you're gonna move away. You're gonna like lose touch with your family, all this stuff." And I was like, when I was a kid, we went on a cruise, and I saw palm trees, and I was like, if I'm gonna move anywhere, it's gonna be somewhere where there's palm trees, and that's what I got the whole idea from to move to Orlando.
Really?
And like, I don't know. I mean, like, my dad always believed in me, but, like, we had a lot of a falling out with my sister. So, like, my dad would always say to me, like, all right, you're our last hope.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What do you mean you had a falling out with your sister?
Like, dude, just, like, family issues with my sister.
Really?
Like,
She was out of the family.
Like, kind of, but we never got along. Like, we grew up together for 18 years. We never got along. We're never close. We never said happy birthday to each other. Never did anything. It was a very weird dynamic at home. I was close to my mom and my dad. But
you only have one sibling.
One sibling,
so there's two of you in the house. What's your age difference?
5 years. She's 5 years older than I am.
Got it. But no relationship.
Nothing.
Just coming, passing the house. That's it.
Like, literally, you grab cookies from the fridge. I would grab milk and not even a word. It was just
You
weird.
talk to her now?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Is she close to your parents?
She's close to my mom.
Really?
My dad's just kind of like... My dad's more infatuated with, like, the stuff that I'm doing now because it's exciting for him because he gets to, like, kind of feel more youthful because he's getting older now.
Yeah. That'll happen to us, bro. We get older.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens real quick. So walk me through, because so in the insurance space, when I was in real estate at 18, which, like, you weren't thought about being alive, your mom and dad hadn't even thought about you yet because you're only 29. At that time, I was running my ads in a newspaper. So I would go to the New London Day, Norwich Bulletin. I'd give them $250. They'd run me whatever the size ad was for a week, okay? And then, because I predate all this stuff, you know, so like I've learned so much about what's happening here. But I've also seen a lot of people get with the wrong people, spend a frigging shit ton of money, and not get a result. Are the people that are taking their money and not getting a result, are they just really bad at what they do? Or do they not give a shit? I'm really asking, because I genuinely want to, like I always say to people, when people ask you questions, they either want to know the answer or they're just trying to mess with you. Like, I genuinely want to know. I don't know the answer.
No, dude, that's a question I get so much.
Like, how does that happen? Because I'll hear people go, man, I gave this guy $20,000. I couldn't get any, like, I got nothing out of it. How is that happening?
So and there's actually two realities to this. So, like, the first thing is that people who run a business themselves that are trying to get off the ground that might have done well organically, they don't actually understand that it's hard as hell to get paid ads to convert and run cold traffic, because you could say something organically and people are like, dude, I'll buy from you. I know who he is. But then you go to some random person and you get them to click an ad and they go to a book calendar and then they talk to a sales rep and they have no idea what you offer, what you sell, why you sell it, what it's going to do for them. They just need more warming up, right? So that's the first piece that people don't understand. Second is, when you give, like, a marketing firm a ton of money, they expect it to be completely 100 hands off. And, like, that's completely false. Like, we call it a done-for-you service because we do things for you, but not 100% of it. Like, if we give you a video script and you record it and you're not that energetic in the ad, or you half-ass it, or you pay a videographer, you don't want to spend the money on it, then, like, it's going to be lower quality, which means that your prospects are now looking at it saying low-quality video, probably low quality service. They don't care about their clients that much. So that can steer people away. The third thing is actually, it's kind of like a risk reversal, but social media kind of did it to people that, oh, I could just go online, make a business, run ads, make money. So the perception is like, I give you 20 grand. I need to get results quickly. And that pre-framed people's impatience. So, like, years ago, like, I mean, I have friends who made restaurants and, you know, did brick and mortar businesses. Those businesses take 300, 400, 500 grand to get started. All the furniture, all the staff, all the license, all this stuff. And then people online are like, oh, make money rich quick. Okay, 20 grand. I should get that back soon. But it's like, I think it's just the perception of people. Like there's not 100% success rate when running paid traffic. But, like, I do it for myself. It does very well. It's because I drove everything else on my business that most people are just, like, really faulty to look at. People expect the ad to do all the work for them. Like, there's more to a business than just traffic. There's offers, there's copywriting, there's leadership, there's teams, there's systems, there's processes, there's all these things. There's a product ladder, there's lifetime value drivers, there's all these things in a business that encompass what actually makes the ad worthwhile. And people just think that it's like a spend money, get a click, get a customer. Like, if it was that easy, everyone would do it.
Correct.
So I think it's kind of like this expectations thing. Like, people set massive expectations for sure.
Well, I think also, you know, and you just said it, when I was growing up, when I was your age, dude, you couldn't bullshit. There was no, first of all, you couldn't filter things. Couldn't filter what you looked like. You were who you were. If you had money, you had money. if you didn't, and it was okay, but you knew who had money, you knew who didn't. Like, there was no false facade. You're like, that dude lives there. I drive by his house. He's not taking a picture of somebody else's house, posting it. There was nowhere to post it. You couldn't put it anywhere. I've had people call me and be like, dude, they send it to me. They're like, dude, isn't this your airplane? Yes. They're like, why is he posting a picture in front of it saying it's his? I'm like, I don't know. It's weird. Like, what do you want me to do? Who cares? But dude, I had a yacht, and the guy was like, that's yours. I'm like, I know it's mine, dude. I own it. It's my sign. I know. He's like, well, you put it. And so you don't know, right? You just don't know, which is weird that you would do that. That's just a weird. But the business world, I think what the struggle in today's world is, and I want to hear your opinion on this, is, first of all, it's a motherfucking grind. Business is a motherfucking grind, period. Now, if you create something, my man over there is like, I found a better way to light the studio. Nobody's ever done it. I figured it out. I'm super smart. I patented it. It's mine. Done. He could be the worst businessman in the history of the world. You don't have to be. He created something. Somebody comes to him, gets an attorney. We license it. He's out. He gets paid his money. He's on no leadership, no marketing, no nothing. But 99.9% of us aren't going to do that. We have to run a business. And the business don't run itself. You got to run the motherfucker. That's the way it works, right? And there's two ways I see a lot of people start this deal. They're like, now I'm a warm market, insurance rules. Believe me, that's great. Except there is a law of the lid on that. You only know, so I don't care what you say. If you're in a business that doesn't have leads, I tell people this all the time, quit. And people are like, what do you mean? I'm like, dude, if your business, you can't create leads. If whatever you're selling, you cannot create leads, and it's you door knocking and cold calling people, fucking quit.
Yeah.
Because there's better ways to do it. How do you, because I love what you're talking about. You are, like, I see people, the script, the energy, who you are, would I buy from you, what kind of service you're going to provide me, will you follow up with me, do you do your job, is your product any good? Like, you can run the best ad in the world, but if it's shit, it's shit.
Yeah.
Right? When you see people, because you're how old again?
27.
27 years of age. And if I had a nickel for every, it's any age, but listen, most younger people are like, and I had a guy call me the other day, and he told me, you have to understand one of the things, because I try to stay in good shape. I ain't trying to get no damn, I've gone my entire life without a six-pack. I'm going to die without a motherfucking six-pack. I promise you. I don't give a shit. If I wanted one, I could get one. I could eat chicken breast, do 1,000 fucking whatever all day long. I could do it. I could get on some programs these guys are on, get sauced out of my mind. Fine. I don't want to. It's not one of my desires. But he said to me, he said, man, fitness is financial success. And I was like, dude, who told you that? Now, I think you should be in good shape because you want to be in good health. I think you should do that. But I see so many people running around wearing one or two nice things. I'm glad they're in crazy good shape, but they're broke.
Yeah.
They're fucking broke. And you see them because they talk to you, and they're your age bracket.
Yeah.
When you see that from people, and you got a client who's like, man, dude, I'm going to do this. Well, Joe, I'm going to do this and this and this and this and this. And you're like, dude. And then he can't afford a videographer. He can't afford anything because he doesn't have any money. How do you break that down to that 25, 28, 22-year-old who's, I'm going to get rich, but you're in the gym 3 hours a day, which you should be working in 3 hours a day. The most successful I was when I was majoring in eating Cinnabon. I used to eat Cinnabon twice a day. I was fat. I was fucking fat. Gut, fat, didn't care, but I was growing my business. People were like, man, you gained weight. I was like, I gained money too. And when I get money, I'm going to eventually get back in good shape. I don't want to be in bad shape. Yeah. I'm not excited about it. How do you help get those guys to fix their priorities?
Yeah, I mean, it just like, it's really funny you bring that up. I have like a huge video that went viral where I was talking shit about the gym. I don't know if you saw that.
Well, what did you say? Somebody asked me about it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Basically, I was just like, hey, like if you're a guy who makes less than 10 grand a month and you're in the gym, like why the fuck are you in the gym? And it just completely stunned me because I don't go to the gym at all, but I exercise in my backyard. Like I'll do like, I play basketball in my backyard. I get like a little bit of cardio in, like that's fine.
And you don't gain weight, in fairness. Let's be honest, but dude, you don't gain weight.
Dude, my metabolism is so fucking fast. Like
Correct.
I could eat 4,000 calories a day, which I've tried before, and this shit don't even help.
I got it, no doubt about it. You look like you're fucking on an 8-ball every 4 hours, which I know you're not, but look at you. I mean, you know what I mean? So you're good, but even if you were overweight, you're like, I got to make my money.
Yeah, because I was always... I mean, dude, I saw how my parents lived when they were working and struggling, and I was like, okay, well, what is going to solve my problems right now? Well, my dad's stressed every single Friday because the bills come in. My mom doesn't make that much money. They every time the car would break down, they would freak out. Okay, I have to make money. That's how I grew up. I was like, dude, I don't want to feel like that when I'm going to be 25, 30 years old. Like, I don't want to be fucking poor. Mm-hmm. Also, dude, I don't know. I mean, you see it too. Whenever I went into big rooms, who did everyone listen to? People who have fucking money. No one listens to you if you looked jacked.
No.
So I used to go to these small events and like little cocktail parties, things that I would do for the jobs that I was working. I was like, dude, why do people listen to that guy? Like, he's fucking ugly. But I was like, wait a minute. He's rich. Correct. That's why people listen to him.
Well, and also, like, we can say here, unless we change our economic system, and it's not capitalism, which is the money, and it's somehow something else, fine. But until then, and for me, it's like, I want people to do whatever they want. Because at the end of the day, you have to understand, if somebody said to me, dude, I just really want these things out of life and that's not important, I'm totally good with that. My issue is I have people tell me that, like, those things are not important. And then they'll call me and ask me for money. I had a guy who gave me shit forever ago to somebody else. He didn't give it to me. He doesn't tend to give me shit to my face. They talk about my back. And he's like, man, he really works a lot. He works a lot. And I'm like, okay, like, I work a lot, cool. And then sends me something and says, hey, I really need you to help me do this for my son. Like, it's like his son's playing a sport. I'm thinking, that's weird, because that's not my fucking kid. Like, I'm 100% sure he's not my kid. And it's not like the guy got in an accident and he's hurt or he's ill. And he's like, hey, man. And it's not like his kid's in trouble. It's to play a sport, like, on a good team that costs a lot of money. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking, you're giving me shit behind my back to my buddy about how hard I work. And then you're asking me for money. So my hard-earned money that I worked for, you want it so you can hang out, play ball all day long, which he does, work your job 6 hours a day, not really be able to support your family. And so when you look at where we are today and you see, because I think your space is intriguing to me because it's literally limitless. Because everybody in a business is trying to find a way. And the answer is what y'all are doing, right? And there's a lot of different ways to do it. I see a lot of people try to do it on their own too. So, like, I'm a lead. Like, for me, people always say, what do you do with leads? I'm not a lead. I help people sell a ton. Mm-hmm. I build businesses. I help with your leadership, your organizational development. I explain how you build the right culture. I look at profitability. But I don't create the leads. It's not me. It's not who I am. I stay in my lane. Mm-hmm. Tennis? Hell no. Weird. I'm not a tennis guy. Dude, do I look like a tennis guy? I hit the ball over the fence and scream and yell. I play football, baseball. I tackle things. I'm not that cool. It doesn't work that way for me. So I'm not like, you're like, hey, you want to play tennis? I'm like, no, not really. I'm not even good at it, dude. I don't move quick. I'm not that finesse kind of guy. I'm going to stay in my lane. A lot of folks they'll do it on their own because they're like, hey, I'm going to figure it out. And a lot of guys will sell courses on how to do it. And I know a guy in particular, I'm not going to dog him because people are like, you stop. I don't like him really at all, but I'm going to be nice and not fucking say his name because he sucks. Because he charges for courses. And the only reason I say that is I have 50, 60 people I know who have given him money, have taken the course, and then have never, ever, and I think they have good energy. I think they will do what you ask them to do. I think they spend the money in the day. They do everything they're supposed to do, except nothing clicks. Then he's gone. He got his money from you. He's not there to support. Like, he's good. He got his 5, 10 grand. He's good. What do people need to know when they're starting their business and they have a budget? They need people. They need to sell to somebody, right? They need clients. They need prospects. From a budgeting standpoint, I don't care what the product was, what kind of budget? For me, I'm whatever age, I'm excited. I go, hey, Woj, I'm fired up. I got this product. Man, I'm willing to do anything. But, dude, what am I looking at to try to penetrate and do it? I don't care. Pick a product. Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I mean, if you're let's say you're selling, like, hair growth oil.
There you go.
E-com
I
store.
could use that. There you go. Perfect example. Hair growth oil. I ain't got no hair. Perfect. I shaved mine, but I wouldn't have a full head if I didn't.
So, like, if you're trying to get off the ground, on any ad platform, I always recommend that people start with like $100 a day.
Okay.
Like, you got to start with $100 a day to see enough numbers, like KPIs to come back and say, is this working? Is this not working? What are the bottlenecks? What's suffering? I would say if you were to have that and then like a media buyer to help you, Like you're looking at like $4,000 to $7,000 a month, give or take. So $4,000 to $7,000 a month. You know, you're gonna have to have a ramp up period. So like, I would say like 10 to 20 grand.
Okay.
10 to 20 grand budget.
Which, by the way, which is nothing to start a business. That's nothing. It's nothing.
Nothing.
Like it's nothing to start a business. When I started my real estate business, it was millions of dollars. I was 21. I got $1 million line of credit from a local bank. Like, and I spent it real fast. Like to build a real business, right? Do you see a lot of folks that they have the vision, but not the work ethic? Because people say to me, how would you make money? I'm like, whatever you have, I'd sell it. If I want to sell hair growth, whatever, I could make enough money to give me money to go ahead and try to ramp my business up by selling to everybody and anybody I can. From a sales standpoint, I know it's their business, and I know that's not. What are some things you see, some major mistakes you see people make where they have a product, they're waiting on the magic, which is the leads are going to come pouring in. They're going to close their eyes and wake up one day, and 42 people are going to be on the phone with their credit card going, dude, let's go. I want to buy it, which is not the way it works. What do you see what mistake do you see them making in their sales, whether it's their approach, their activity, their what do you see them, what mistakes do you see some of these guys like, I don't have the money, Jace. I know I tried it, man, but I don't have any money. I can't afford that this month. As you said earlier, I can't afford to pay for this. What mistakes are they making in the sales end of their business?
On the sales end.
Or do you even see that? Is that even part of what you do?
I mean,
with them?
yeah, like I see the sales portion. I would say that the people that they're getting on the phones, well, are we talking about the person who's selling the product or the
guy that runs
owner?
the business?
The guy that runs the
owner.
Okay, yeah.
Comes to you, I need to make money, here's my budget.
Okay, yeah. Biggest thing that they're doing sales-wise is their expectation is that they can sell whatever the fuck they want because it's the internet. And the reality is that if they don't have a results-driven promise or a good offer, it's going to flunk anyway.
It doesn't matter.
You could have a great product, but if you don't if you don't get it in front of people by having a good offer and a good results-driven promise, they're never going to see what the good product was. So it always has to have this thing, like I call it a unique mechanism. It's this thing that you put on a product to make the thing proprietary. You can't just say, oh, well, I have hair growth oil. Okay, well, what instead if I said, hey, like this bottle of hair oil is going to get your hair to grow back within 14 days, and if it doesn't, we'll refund you the entire amount. That is a good offer. That gets people to kind of raise their eyebrows and say, okay, there's no risk. There's a guarantee. I have an expectation. There's a results-driven promise. Yeah. So now they get on the phone. They're like, oh, yeah, like what do the 14 days look like? There's actually an expectation set in the product. But some people are like, yeah, I got this thing. It's like I had a client one time who made a product, didn't even do any research on the market. It was this thing for the backyard to like practice golf. He's like, yeah, dude, golfers would use this. I'm like, dude, don't you understand that people who golf have money?
Correct. They're broke.
They're not broke. They're just going to go to the course.
Correct.
Why the fuck do they want to do this? They leave the house to get away from their wives to go play golf. They don't want to leave that shit in their backyard. He never listened, and he spent a ton of money on the product, spent 40 grand on an order, and on top of that, had a business partner who screwed him, and now he's out 100 grand. And he's like, no one bought it. I'm like, yeah, dude, because you didn't test it in the market. There's a huge hack that like I do with a bunch of things that like we sell. Like let's say I have a new program that I want to push out or a new service to our clients. I will do a case study or a beta program first. I'll roll it out to the clients and I'll say, hey, do you want this? Yes? Okay, cool. I don't charge their card. I let them go through the order form first, buy it, and it charges them zero money. Okay. There was a thing that Greg, he was one of my mentors. He actually lived in Waterbury, Connecticut.
Really?
And he always taught me this one thing. He said, dude, people don't vote with their words or their actions. They vote with their credit cards.
Agreed.
So I was like, okay. I put up this order form. I go to the clients. I ask them, if enough people buy, I just refund them. And then I tell them, hey, we're going to go make the service now. A lot of people have a product or service and they're like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go out and like spend a ton of money on inventory and a warehouse and staff. I'm like, dude, no one bought the shit yet.
Right.
So I've always done that with a lot of like our own e-com stores and our own services and stuff. I just go out, see if the market wants it first. Then I put the money up to suffice it.
Got it.
Because you want to see demand.
Correct.
But like, yeah, sales-wise, like they either don't believe in the product because they just want to make quick money. There's not much passion in it. Other things I see is they don't put a lot of money into like the actual strategy. They're just like, yeah, we'll get a free theme on Shopify. We'll put the product up there and we'll run ads to it. Fucking just get some images from Canva. We'll cheap our way out of it, get it up and running, and then we'll make money. And like, that's why I have a video on YouTube that I did. where I still have this hair growth oil business, and I literally took it like from 0 to 152K in 28 days or whatever, and I did it from the comfort of my own bed, and I literally record my screen on Loom the whole day, and I put it together in a documentary piece. And when people watch that, dude, they're like, bro, that's like real shit. Like, there's days where I was spending like $3,000 a day on ads, and I only made $1,000, and I had to change the landing page and do all this shit to it and fix it up, and it wasn't always like rainbows. And like, people don't realize that like those things are so under this weird impression
Correct.
that they could just push it out to the market. People will buy whatever. As long as they have the right targeting, they'll buy. I'm like, dude, there are thousands of advertisers hitting the same interest on Facebook. Don't you think that people are somewhat shopping around regardless?
100%.
Like, and then also when you do start making money, what's the biggest thing people do when they start making money? They came from a background where they didn't have money. So then you give them money. What do? They buy dumb shit. They go on vacation. They don't know how to reinvest it. They don't build brand. They don't hire the right people. They spend it on their own. And then their business is not this longevity-based thing because they have the right things in place, and they start losing money, and then it goes to shit. I had a girl a year and a half ago. Her name was Amara, and she had this brand, and she was doing really well on TikTok. She was doing 100K a month, and I was like, wow, this is really dope. She's like, yeah, I haven't ran ads yet. Start running ads. Basically, like, we took her to like $1 million every quarter, and it was great. And then one month she hits me up and she's like, yeah, like, we have to stop services. I don't have the money. And I was like, you don't have 12 grand? Like, what happened to the money? She's like, I saw her Instagram story. She was posting pictures of her buying Birkin bags and traveling and all this shit, and she didn't have any other product line. She wasn't increasing her lifetime value. I told her so many times, you need more products because you can't just be a one-hit wonder. Like, it's very hard to do that. Like, even look at, like, smaller brands. I have a smaller product line. Even look at Tesla. They have, like, maybe 5-6 cars now. She had one product. And I was like, you're going to run out. And then what if your supplier cuts you? What do you know? The supplier cut her on the product. She had to go find another supplier. She had $80,000 to $120,000 in orders and in receivables. She had to ship it. People weren't getting the order. They did a bunch of chargebacks. She lost her payment processor. And it was fucking game over. Call it a day, yeah.
But it's insane. I've seen it forever, and I'll laugh because people will call me and go, man, I thought I was going to get more here. And I'm like, dude, you just bought a $427,000 car. You just bought a $2.5 million home. Dude, I've been very blessed to be worth a lot of money, make a lot of money. And when I was 36, I hadn't sold any of my companies yet. But I knew I had a boatload of money in equity. I knew my real estate company is worth, my waste management company is worth, and I was just starting a life insurance company. I remember a guy called me one day and he was bitching to me about what he was making. I said, you should fly to Connecticut, come to my house, let's hang out. Cool, he's all excited. He's all excited because he thinks he's coming to some big badass fucking palace. My house on 89 Oneiko Street in Norwich, Connecticut was 2.5 bedrooms maybe. I have two kids. At that time, they were probably 6 and 4, somewhere in there. Actually, no, 8 and 6. And they had their own bedrooms. I slept on the couch. Okay? I had 4th month there, dude got shot right in front of my doorstep. And I just heard it, and I was like, I should probably call 911. Because I ain't going out there to see who shot him. They ain't got nothing to do with me, And the guy flies in, and we're driving in, and I remember he pulls up, and we get out, and he's like looking at me, and he's looking around, and dude, I have money. Like, I'm not, but I'm pouring everything back into these deals so I can build this unbelievable life for my family. And he looks at me, and he says, you live here? And I said, yeah. Yep, I own the company, another company. Yeah, I live right here. Yep. Now, listen, I've lived in worse places. I grew up in worse places. And he said, I get it. I said, no, you don't. I said, dude, you make $250,000 a year. You have $1 million house. You have a wife that stays at home. Doesn't work, which is fine, except you can't afford that. Like, you have to start to understand this concept. And I said to him, I'm going to take this. This is okay. So let's use this. Hey, give me a price on this. What's this worth? Give me something. I don't care. Pick it. $10,000. If you were to say to me, do you have any animals? Dog, cat? Okay. No. Do you have any growing up? Animals, dogs? Yeah. Okay. Would you have a dog or a cat?
I had a dog.
Did you like the dog?
Yeah.
What's his name?
It was Chloe.
Chloe. Has Chloe passed away?
No.
Chloe's still alive.
Still alive.
Female, male?
Female.
Female. So Chloe, what kind of dog?
It was a French bulldog.
If I said to you, we're not going to nobody wants to hurt any animals, but I'm going to give you, if I said to you, hey, bro, Chloe, if you can't sell, if it's 10 grand, he's going to sell one a month. If it's 5 grand, 2. If it's a grand, 10. You got to sell $10,000 worth of these things a month. Or Chloe goes bye-bye. Chloe goes bye-bye. We're not going to say we're going to kill Chloe. That's me. But Chloe goes bye-bye. Chloe goes somewhere else. You never see Chloe ever again. Yeah. There's zero chance your ass wouldn't sell 10. Mm-hmm. Zero. There's literally zero chance that you wouldn't sell 10. You'd be like, okay, I don't know. You'd go around here. You'd go door to door. You'd sit out. You'd figure it out. Mm-hmm. The problem is that people lose their sense of urgency. And they have that sense of urgency I have it still today. I'm 52 years old. I'm very blessed. And I proceed every day like I'm fucking, somebody could take it all from me. Mm-hmm. I'm ready for the fight. I'm ready for the battle. Matter of fact, it juiced me up. Guy called me away here. He's like, I don't understand why you're doing this to me. I said, because I like it. Because I enjoy the fucking part of this game. Mm-hmm. That you have a business, I have a business, we compete. And my job is to step on you, on your fucking head, in a legal and ethical way. Mm-hmm. And we're just going to compete. And if you told me today, Sean, you got to go sell, I go sell. If I said, man, I need to make some money, the answer is go sell whatever your product is. Mm-hmm. Just like, this girl forgot that, right? She's not going to go do anything. And having the foresight, no, whatever you have, dude, it can go away. I ran a waste management company. I thought it was the greatest idea in the world. I was so excited. I watched all these movies, Goodfellas and all these movies and Sopranos, and they were all in the waste management business, which is true, by the way. It's not organized. People are like, there's the mafia. I'm like, dude, Sammy the Bull's walking the earth, and he's the biggest rat ever. They're not. Come on, he'd be dead if they were really around like back in the day. But whatever. And one day overnight, the incinerator that I bring all my trash to in Preston, Connecticut, burns to the ground. Am I saying they burnt to the ground? I don't know. I think that I don't know who did. But that's where I dump all my stuff. $68 a ton is what I'm dumping for. I charge the customer whatever it was, $90. I do all the work, got my dumpster, I'm making some money. Burns to the ground. I don't have a contingency plan. I mean, the place is, that's where we dump everything. Call my guy that manages it with me. I said, hey, dude, what are we going to do? He's like, we have to go to one of the other people that, there's only 3 or 4 options around us. If not, can't drive to New York, can't put shit in a train to Ohio. 3 of them. Here's the problem with all 3. They're owned by my competitors. I go in the first one. I said, hey, how much a ton? He goes, $110. I said, I charge my customers $90. He goes, yeah, we'll charge people off the street $90. We're charging you $110. We compete with you. Drive to the next one. $110. Oh, I didn't know they all knew each other. $110. Well, I can't. I'm effectively out of business. I have 140 dumpsters, 4 trucks, 5 full-time drivers, 2 managers, and overnight I go to, if I move the trucks, I lose money. So I have to go back down to one of them, national company, call a buddy of mine who's an attorney who happens to know them. The guy gives me $90 and lets me earn my way back down to like 70. But I went from stupid profitable to stupid unprofitable overnight. I didn't do nothing. I didn't burn the place down. But the reality really was that's the way business works. Mm-hmm. And had I not negotiated a deal, I just would have been like, who wants my trucks and dumpsters? Like, who wants to buy them? And they're not like, you don't put that shit on Craigslist. Who are you going to do with them? Yeah. But I mean, your points are really well taken. When you see, you've been doing this how long now?
Like 6-7 years.
6-7 years. And when you see people, if I were to say to you, man, in your business, if I do everything you asked me to do on the lead gen side, the market, all that, how long is it going to take me if I'm doing it the right way? Because I know it's a grind. Mm-hmm. When am I, like people ask me in the insurance business, how long is it going to take me, man? I'm like, dude, I don't have a finite answer. It's not a science.
Dude, I get that question so much.
Correct, right? So this is what I tell them, and I tell them, I don't have a finite answer. What I will tell you is the majority of people I see have success, like 90, 120 days in. If you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing and you can't have success by then, dude, it may not be for you. Because I don't ever want to bullshit him either. Like, it may not be for you. Dude, you might want to go do something else. I'll make money if you still sit here, but I'd rather have you go do something unhappy. If I'm doing everything, and it could be my product. It might not be anything. It could be my product. Mm-hmm. Could be me, sales system, lack of leadership, ads, the person I'm working with. When you're talking to some of these folks, because you are mentoring them at some level too, because they're coming to you like, I've never really done this before. I have a product. I got a supplier over here.
Yeah.
When they're asking you that question, what is your answer?
I usually say, like, when we're about to sell somebody, I always say, hey, like, listen, this is not for everybody, and I can't sell you something you don't need. But if I were to go for average results, like, we have a 4-month commitment. That's what we always start off with. We always say 120 days, like, we'll know for sure. Like, what's working, what's not. But you have to commit to the 4 months. We used to do 3-4 years ago. I used to do the whole month-for-month shit. That was the worst thing I ever did.
Really?
Because everybody would come in and be like, all right, if I don't make X amount of money by day 31, I'm out. Yeah, I'm going to cancel the card. I'm going to block the merchant, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, I'm good. So then we started like building a whole plan for every single day, and we go through it on onboarding and stuff. But like every single month, there's a certain thing that we go over so that they can see success faster. If they don't want to commit to 4 months, man, I mean, it's not to be rude, but like they just shouldn't be running a fucking business.
Yeah, but it's not being rude. It's being honest.
Yeah, like
That's being honest.
Yeah, they should just take it and just like fucking throw and
Right.
get a job.
Go to the casino.
Yeah.
Have fun. Seriously, go on a much. But business is not for everybody.
Yeah.
And also, like, I hate, when people tell me, like, well, if you have a job making this much, you're a loser. It's like, bro, you should do whatever the fuck makes you happy. And if you got a job, when I was making $68,000 at the state, I don't want to lie to you, I wasn't unhappy. I wasn't content.
Yeah.
I wanted more, but I wasn't miserable. I wasn't like, my God, my fucking life sucks. I was just working my job.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted more out of life. I wasn't content with that. And when people go, I always laugh. I see these videos my buddies will send to me. If you make less than $250,000, you're not a real man. It's like, bro, I will bitch slap the taste out of your mouth. Like, who do you think you're talking to? I make good money. I'm good. But when I was making $68,000 at the state, I'd have whooped your ass if I seen that video. Come to your house. I'm here, Mr. $68,000. You want to step outside? Practice fucking falling down. It's about to happen. Yeah. Because you don't talk to people that way, right? Yeah. And it's certainly not for everybody. I want to ask you this in close. First of all, I really enjoy talking to you. Mm-hmm. I never judge anybody before I meet them because you just never know. Like, there's some people I'm like, I like that dude. Then I'm like, damn, I really don't like him. And then sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like that dude, and I really liked him. But I really enjoy talking to you. And I think you have a lot of insight, and you have a lot of knowledge, but also it's easy to connect. So I appreciate that because I think people, dude, this is crucial. This is important for people because I love seeing people succeed in business. Like, I love it. I think it's great. I love competing. I just love when there's new ideas, new products, and somebody's like, man, I made this amount of money. When you look at where we are today, what has been your most successful, whether it's been a product, a launch, something you did yourself, like what's been your biggest success in business specifically since you've been in business for yourself?
For a client?
For you or
for
a client?
Me,
let's do you first.
I'll do one for myself. We just had our biggest month 2 months ago.
Good for
right
you.
now, it's a little tough though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like
well,
right
don't
now.
lie. Yeah. I'll
right
know
now,
anyway.
like, dude, people are not buying shit right now. So I don't know what's going on, but we had our biggest month. We did 1.1 million in a month, so that was cool.
1.1 top line money.
Yeah,
coming
top
in.
line. Yeah,
Nice.
That was cool. And then for a client was probably a tax relief company that I've been working with for a while.
Really?
We did a whole we have a whole Q4 campaign right now, and we're just like slamming the campaign. Like, we're spending a lot of money. They're a very big company. They go over like 400, 500 million a year. They're huge. And like, we're spending like 100, 200 grand a day on Facebook, and it's just like crushing.
Really?
Like, it's so dope. Yeah.
You spend how much a day?
Like 100, 200 grand a day.
Just
on like
pounding it.
Just pounding it.
Killing it. Good for them, dude. How cool does that feel?
It's cool, yeah, because I get like a percentage of the upside. So
yeah, you should. It's cool. A lot of it. You're getting fucking paid too. Yeah, he's like, it's really cool. I'm getting on the upside. Yeah, that's unbelievable. But what was the biggest failure you've had in business, specifically?
Biggest failure was renting an office 3 years ago when I wasn't ready for it. I took on this office and it was like 40 grand a month, and bro, I was not ready for the growth at all. I did it because I was being too ambitious, which is not a bad thing. Like, it's not bad to be too ambitious, but it's also like I just didn't have the leadership, and I didn't have a CEO at the time to do shit that I was doing, and I didn't have all those things built to where I could fill that office and like really streamline fulfillment more. Then I was really stabbing myself in the back, and I took on that lease, and it was 480 grand for 12 months, and I fucking half my bank account was gone. And I was like, fuck, that was terrible, dude.
At least you weren't scared.
Yeah, well, I wasn't scared.
Yeah.
I was always like balls to the wall, but like, dude, it was a little nerve wracking because I was like, damn, I was kind of upset with myself, but it was all right. I mean, dude, you live and you learn. Now I know, like, get an office that was smaller. So now we have a smaller office, and it's fine. Like, I'm not afraid to say that. It's just like, I'm okay with it. I want only salespeople and setters in the office right now. I don't want fulfillment in there until these other people leave their leases on the same floor, and then I'll take those and turn one office into fulfillment and one into, like, ops, and then one into sales and one just into settings. So that's kind of the plan.
I love it. That's okay. Before COVID, I decided that one of the companies, we needed to have 400 national offices. And I got us to 409. I was out of my mind excited. Personally guaranteed a lot of the big ones myself, 30 grand a month here. And then COVID came crashing down. And everybody went home. So, but you know what, dude? Like, it's the same. And again, I'm not where I was years ago. So life's, but it's funny. It's like one of those things where, you know, I remember when I launched my insurance company and I got sued. And I remember, I'll never forget, my buddy called me. He's like, "Did you get served?" I was like, "Yeah, there's something down there. They came and sued me." And he's like, "What are you going to do?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, what are you doing?" I go, "I'm getting lunch." He's like, "No, what are you doing about the lawsuit?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just sending to an attorney, but, like, I got to eat."
Yeah.
And we were talking about that the other day, and I'm like, "I know, but, dude, I'm not an attorney. Like, what? I'm just going to get all the paperwork to an attorney." Like, I mean, I get sued all the time, which is fine. Could care less.
Dude, that was the biggest hump I had to get over, too. I used to try to control things that I wasn't an expert in. And I was like, why is this happening? Or, like how do I fix that? And then I was like, shit, like, I'm getting so, like, I had a big control problem years and years ago.
Yeah. No, I was
definitely tough,
It's one thing I learned early. I'm going to delegate. I'm going to stay the fuck out of the way. You're good at that. You do it. You're good at that. You do it. My attorney called me. I'm like, why are you calling me? I don't have law degree. Yeah, but I'm like, dude, do what you think you're supposed to do. If you need information that you don't have about the case, I'll give it to you. Other than that, do your job.
Yeah.
Stop calling me. If I need to do my accountant's job, I don't need my accountant. If I need to do my attorney's job, I don't need my attorney. And I'll find another attorney. Do your job. And every time you talk to me, it's like fucking $800 an hour. Why would I want to talk to you about stuff you should know and charge myself $800 an hour? Yeah. That makes no sense. You know, you got to stay in your lane sometimes. So, well, hey, man, listen, for people that want to find you, they're watching, they're listening, like, dude, it's intriguing. I'd love to know more about what he does. I appreciate you shooting people straight. You're like, hey, it's a tough time right now. Be honest. Yeah. Be honest. Be creative. Work around that. But how do people find you?
Yeah, they can go on Instagram at the Jason Wojo. They can also go to our website, thewojomedia.com, and we also run events every like couple of weeks. Just depends on what city they're in. I'm actually going on tour in January, and that's scaleyouradsevent.com.
Scaleyouradsevent.com. You are a man, bro. I appreciate having time. Thank you for being on Pick Money. I'll come check out one of your events without a doubt. Guys, thank you. Like, subscribe, share. People need real information. They need to know how to be successful. They need to know what to avoid. And they have to know who they should be listening to. My rule was, you ain't done it, don't talk to me about it. It's simple. Like, I had a football coach one day. He was like, you need to do this and this and this. I said, hey, coach, you ain't never played football. You ain't never worn a helmet. You ain't never hit nobody. So I need you to respectfully, hold on a minute, shut the fuck up.
Yep.
And I'm not trying to be mean. Like, they'd be mad at me and they suspend me for a day. And I'm like, you let me come back Friday because you need me to play. So you're not going to suspend me for that long. But if you've not done it, keep your mouth shut. If you have, share it with other people. Paying it forward is the greatest gift we got. So, Wojo, appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you being on.